My name is TERRYN Nelson, and I'm happy to be here. I am a retired Army nurse. I practiced nursing for over 20 years, and I retired from the Army as Lieutenant Colonel. And currently, I am teaching group fitness exercise at a couple of fitness centers, and I teach several formats, aqua, in cardio and Zumba, and indoor cycling. I met Aaron last year, and he was looking for people who were interested in helping him bring more awareness to mental illness, specifically depression. And as a nurse, dealing with a lot of depression, particularly as a nurse practitioner, I treated a lot of people with either depression or different behavioral health disorders. And so I really wanted to help Aaron and, to bring more awareness to mental health and depression. And there's also, depression in my family. So I wanted to continue helping Aaron move on with this. And when he talked about the Ashaki models, I really thought that that was an interesting take on bringing awareness to depression, and we could, talk and have fun and relax and, and be able to share our experience, our strength, and our hope as it relates to mental health. Looking back, I believe that, as a child, as an adolescent, I have dealt personally with, some form of depression. I'd say like melancholia or dysthymia, which is defined as a persistent sadness. And I think looking back, I've probably been dealing with that all of my life. And there's family history, particularly on my mother's side, with depression. And I have a family member that is currently, really fighting and managing depression. And I would also say that being in the military, I was deployed to Iraq for about 14 and a half months, and I really struggled with a major depressive episode. I needed to be treated, and returning home and transitioning back into reality, I needed some help with it. So as you can tell, I've been really dealing with depression personally and, in my family and as a profession. I decided to deal with my own primarily because of the symptoms of fatigue and, this feeling of wanting to snap out of it. I think that's a common feeling of, you want to snap out of it, you want to start feeling better, and then realize that you're not able to. And then it's like, okay, I need to talk to someone about this to get help. I think we go through feeling shut down when we, try to talk about how we're feeling, if it's sadness, and particularly as it relates to stress. One of the triggers for depression is stress injury, or just a lot of being exposed to a lot of stress, whether it be in the workplace or school or family, and you want to be able to talk about it. But we tell ourselves these messages that we're strong and we're resilient, and our foremothers and forefathers, our ancestors, had it a lot harder than we did. And so I think that shuts us down, and we feel like we don't have a way to, to vent our frustrations or how we're feeling. And so you end up, feeling alone and isolated, and abnormal. You're not supposed to be having these feelings, and if you do, you need to get over it. And I think the other environment that we struggle with is the church, the Black church in particular, that if we are struggling, then we're somehow not blessed enough, or we don't have enough faith. We're not trusting in God enough. And so that's another way, that's another obstacle or barrier, you know, to getting help and getting better, I think. First, make sure, you know, that I would define what their symptoms are as, you know, depression, which are, you know, sadness, hopelessness, feelings of despair, lack of interest, and things like that. And if it's been going on for nearly every day for about 2 weeks. And I would talk about medication, and I would talk about counseling or psychotherapy, that the two of those together, you know, work better than apart, you know, just as an adjunct. Both medication and counseling, you know, really are powerful tools to treat depression. I would let them know that they're not alone, that, you know, what they're experiencing is real, you know, that it's not, you know, something in their imagination, and that at some point in the future that they're gonna, you know, develop the willpower and the strength to, you know, to get over it themselves, that that they, you know, should seek help, you know, and preferably from a professional, you know. That is really important because it can just interfere with your ability to function, and it interferes with your quality of life, and it can actually, you know, create dis-ease or, you know, physical illness. So, and it just would really, it really is important to seek help and to not wait. The other thing I would say is that sometimes, you know, when we get the feeling that maybe we should seek help, sometimes there's another, you know, voice that happens that goes, oh, I'm feeling better, I don't need that. And so then there's kind of, we can sometimes end up talking ourselves out of it. So it's important to kind of, you know, not listen to that and to move forward and to seek help anyway.